Hey guys, Trouble T Cat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade, and today we're playing Medal of Honor, a game which I actually think has got kind of a raw deal. Um, I'm not going to say, you can see there at the beginning of the game, there's only a few people in this match. More join later on, and I'm playing Coalition. I'm attacking on Mazare Sharif Airfield. Anyway, I'm not going to recommend you run out and buy this game anymore because the player numbers have really dropped off. There are still people playing it if you're like really keen and you never sort of got into it. And it is a good game, but right now I think you'd be better off buying Homefront or waiting for, Brink or something. I'm not really looking forward to Crisis 2, so I'm not going to recommend that, but, that would be another option. I just think if you're looking to buy a new sort of online shooter, you'd probably be better off buying something newer, because, well, people still play this game. Its days are definitely numbered. But yeah, I think this game got a really rough deal in reviews because a lot of the critical reaction was really negative. But I think it's actually a very solid little game, and I think I'm gonna be honest. I think it got bad reviews because it's a little bit too hard for a lot of people. I think if you look at Call of Duty as being sort of the epitome of what an online shooter should be, and I don't think that that's right to do, although it is what a lot of people do these days. Medal of Honor is not Call of Duty even a little bit, and so I think people find things. I think a lot of people find the game really frustrating just because it's a much more difficult game, especially in terms of getting like a good KDR than anything in the Call of Duty series, at least anything recently in the Call of Duty series. COD 2 and COD 1 were a little bit more hardcore, but anyway. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting game. I don't get the best ratio in this match. I have sort of good moments, as you saw earlier. I sort of kicked ass a little bit right at the beginning. Um, and I go on some pretty nasty death streaks, and like that was just pretty embarrassing. But I do end up leading my team, and my team wins the game. Sorry if that's sort of spoiling the surprise for you. And I think the reason being, it's really, you don't see that many people with like really super good ratios on this. And actually, I played a game with a much better ratio right after this one as Taliban on the same map, but I lost that game. And I didn't place as highly on my team, even though I got a much better KDR, because this game is really strongly about the objectives. And you'll notice I'm playing quite aggressively, and that's really important on Coalition. Like, you need to really push the enemy hard, and when you're doing that, it's sort of hard to maintain a really good KDR. It's a lot easier to get a good KDR when you're on the defending team, because you can just sort of hang back. But I find when you're playing Coalition on this game, you need to push really hard, and when you're playing that aggressively, it can be a lot harder to get a good KDR. Besides which, I'm obviously playing on PC, and even in a game like Call of Duty, most commentators play on 360 or PS3, but even in a game like Call of Duty, you tend to see much lower ratios, generally speaking, on PC than on console. And I think it's because the average player on PC is a lot better. Like, they're actually the sort of average slash kind of crappy player on PC is actually a legitimate threat even to a good player. Because it's just much easier and faster to aim with the mouse and keyboard. And I don't want to. I mean, I know some people are obviously going to find console controls more natural because that's what they're used to. I don't want to make like a big thing out of this PC versus console debate. I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I'm just saying that my observation has been that extremely high ratios are less common on PC, even in games where you do see them a lot on console. And, I'm not trying to sort of defend my player or anything. I'm not saying, I'm like the greatest player or whatever. I think I go 1-1 in this game. I think I go 18 for 18 at the end. Because, I'm not the greatest player in the world. I'm not bad at this game, but yeah, you'd never see me getting a really amazing ratio. I'm probably not going to do regular commentaries of Medal of Honor or anything like that because its time has really passed. I'd love to be doing Homefront, but I was really lucky there to get that headshot. And you can see I'm playing hardcore mode here, so I don't actually regenerate. You don't actually regenerate your health in hardcore mode in this game. Plus, you die very quickly. But anyway, like here, I was on low health, so that guy managed to kill me. Actually, you'll see there, we killed each other at the same time. This game isn't perfect. It does have some issues, especially with even though I'm playing on a local server, so my ping should be quite good, you still get shot around corners a lot, and you still sort of kill other people at exactly the same time as they kill you a lot in this game, which is just kind of weird. And especially sometimes those two things combine, so it's really frustrating. It's like, well, he killed me, but I also killed him, and I was around a corner when I died. And that can be kind of annoying, so that I think that would be like a legitimate complaint with the game. But overall, I think this game is actually a really solid game, and it's a lot of fun. It's competitive. It's very hard. And as I was saying, the main point of this video was sort of just to get my impressions of Medal of Honor out there, because I did a single-player review a while back, and I really liked the single-player in the game, and I wanted to do a multiplayer review, but I was having a hard time with Punkbuster. I've got my new PC, and that's all done with now. Punkbuster shall no longer be a problem for me. I don't remember if I get this guy or not. Hope I do. No, guess not. Punkbuster no longer a problem for me, so I'm able to upload some of this and play multiplayer. So I'm not going to write a full written multiplayer review again, because I think the time has sort of passed on this game in a lot of ways. But I did want to sort of give my impressions on the game, because I think it got a raw deal, and because it was something that was sort of on my to-do list anyway. So, I mean, this is a gameplay commentary, but it's also, you know, kind of a review. I think the combat mission game type is really good. It really encourages people to work the objectives, and oh man, I get slaughtered in this warehouse like a whole bunch of times by guys flanking me. It does kind of annoy me in one way. In this game, when you're killed, there's no kill cam, and it doesn't point your camera towards who killed you or anything like that, so sometimes you die and you have no idea where the fuck you've been shot from, and that can be really annoying, but see, that's just embarrassing. And they, again there, though, we killed each other at the same time, so not so embarrassing. I thought he just got me, but no, we got each other. And that can be really frustrating as a player, to not know where you were killed from. And like here again, I had no idea where I was being shot from. You know, in retrospect, I can see from the tracers that the dude was behind the way I was facing when I died, and I think I kill him when I come back. I think I shoot him. No, that's... yeah, I get him. I get an assist for some reason there. I don't know. I thought I got him, but I guess somebody else got the last shot. So it can be really annoying, but in another way, the time to kill in this game is really low, and this game is a lot about strategy. It's not so much about individual skill and getting like a really high KDR. In fact, you can have a really good kill-death ratio, and your team can still lose, and there can be tons of people on your team with great KDRs, and your team can still lose, because this game is all about strategy and completing the objectives, and part of that is, in a gunfight, most of this game comes down to positioning and knowing the map, knowing where the enemies are going to be, and having good aim as like a sort of secondary thing if you're in a sort of open firefight. But it sort of comes down to luck a lot if you see each other at the same time, because the time to kill is so low. And in the game that's where they really want to push the strategy aspect and the positioning aspect, I think it's fair enough to make there be a chance that somebody will kill you, or that you'll kill somebody and they won't know where you are. You know, the Call of Duty system of a kill cam encourages people to move around more. But, you know, I think this works equally well depending on the kind of experience you want to create. I don't think it's a flawed system necessarily, but I think it is a frustrating system sometimes, and it may have contributed to some of the negative reaction to the game. I will say, I find this game much, much more frustrating to play when I'm not doing well than I've ever found a Call of Duty game. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. I don't know, I think this is aimed at a different audience. It's aimed at a more sort of hardcore competitive audience, as opposed to the sort of casual audience that Call of Duty has picked up since Call of Duty 4. And I'm a sucker for hardcore games. I just love them. I'm really hoping that in the future there'll be a sort of a resurgence of games, shooters, that do reasonably well without having to sort of pander too much to the casual market. Recently, I've actually been starting to really hate even the hit marker feature that has become stock standard. I've never been big on grenade indicators. In this game, they're there, but they're quite subtle. I kind of like the way it's handled here. Actually, I get killed by grenades sometimes. They surprise me. There is a grenade indicator if you're looking in the general direction, but it's sort of hard to see in the heat of battle. And I like that. Hit markers have been really pissing me off, especially in this game, because when you're attacking objectives in this game, using smoke correctly is actually like a key thing. It is really, really important to use your smoke grenades in this game to advance, because otherwise you just get cut down by machine gunners and snipers and all that stuff. You don't get anywhere a lot of times unless you use smoke effectively. So what that has to do with hit markers is that what'll happen is I'll throw a smoke grenade and somebody will just spam bullets through it and they'll get a hit, and then because they've got the hit markers they can then zero in and kill me even though they can't see me. Or it's the same with, there's not that much cover penetration in this game, but in games where there's absurd levels of shooting through walls, like Call of Duty, again, people can just spray through a wall, get a hit marker, they know exactly where you are, and they kill you, and that pisses me off. I think that it's, it's like one more crutch and handicap than you really need. And I think that that's one of the sort of big problems with games today is that I think they give the player too much to work with. And I like my games to have like a real sort of skill competitive aspect that rewards players who are really on the ball, who are really alert, and who have sort of those gamer instincts built up. And I think games like Call of Duty don't do that. They remove the need to have those instincts, you know? Um, but basically, the only aid that I really am in favor of is one that's been there since Half-Life, and that's just the thing that tells you which direction you're being shot from when you're being hit around the edge of the screen, because that's like unobtrusive. It doesn't actually help you out that much, but it can be sort of handy, and also it's something that you would like realistically be aware of in a combat situation. You know, bullets are hitting you, you probably know where they are hitting your body. Here, I keep taking cover behind these helicopters and planes, and I keep getting shot in the feet. It's just not wise. And I spawn in the Bradley. I don't really like hanging out in the Bradley in this game. Sometimes you get a lot of kills, and it can be a really good tool if used properly. But I really like sort of getting stuck into it, getting in there with an assault rifle or a shotgun. You'll see I used an M16 for most of this game, with the open tip ammo, the red dot sight, and standard barrel because I haven't unlocked the laser sight on the rifleman class yet. But for this last objective on this map, you really want to use a shotgun, or you get so punished in close quarters unless you have a good CQC, CQB weapon, whatever you want to call it. So I pull out the shotgun here, just for this final objective. Getting close to the end of the game now. I think, yeah, I plant the bomb, and then there's two dudes. I get one of them gets me. Fail aiming here. Sort of, if I hadn't been playing hardcore, if I had the crosshair. Oh yeah, that's right, I was actually killed by a teammate there. Which is a little annoying. But, you know, it doesn't matter. And then here, I'd never actually come up here before, and I couldn't figure out how the fuck to get down to where the bomb was. I wanted to make sure we defended it. It didn't end up mattering. My teammates had it handled. And so we won the game. And, so yeah, in conclusion, good game. Maybe not so great to buy it now, but I think the media gave it a really raw deal because it got a lot of publicity, and it wasn't perfect, and it also wasn't what a lot of people were expecting. So I went 20 and 24, but you can see I led my team by 300 points, even though I didn't have a great ratio. Anyway, that's all for now, folks, and have a good one.